Greetings, listeners. Thank you for joining us at the LookBack podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting by myself, but I'm sitting here with
Donovan, and that's Donovan.
And your boy Younger.
Holy jumping! Is that really you?
Hey!
Is that Zach Young? I think there's a picture of you on the wall here for anybody watching the video. He's back there in the picture. This is the OG crew. I'm rocking the hoodie today, boys. The PWLB.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, well, you'll see it when you watch the video back later. Thank you for checking out the show, any listeners out there in the crazy world that we're living with right now. Hope everybody's staying safe and clean and healthy and, stocked up and everything that you need right now, whatever the situation may be in your area. But as you can see, obviously, we're doing things a little bit different here over at the LookBack podcast. Hopefully you listened to the little update I put out this week and kind of told people what to expect from us in the next coming weeks, or we don't even know what to expect from us, but we'll see. We'll keep it going. But yeah, this is the Roundtable, episode 71. Not really round today, more myself with these guys on the phone, but we've done it in the past in the Pro Wrestling Look Back days. So it's not like it's a first. I don't know, it's the first time the three of us have been on a show since I think episode 35. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's good to have you guys back, though. Well, at least Younger. Don's, he's here for the pro wrestling stuff, and we've been doing some F1 stuff on the side. I'm sure you've seen, Young, but good stuff. Yep. If you guys...
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Buddy, we're happy to have you back, and hopefully we can get, even if it's going to be remote recording for now, we hope we can do more of this. In the meantime, though, just some of the listeners, don't forget, even though we know crazy stuff, still want you to go follow at The Look Back Show. Follow, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, and Google Play as well. Like I said, the video is going to be on YouTube. You'll see me, myself in this video with a couple pictures I got of the guys there on the side. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to do it a little bit differently today. We're not necessarily going to have, three different topics from around the table. We're going to kind of just talk about this COVID-19 situation as well as how that affects pro wrestling, Formula One, and, well, our lives as well. But before we get into all that, I kind of want to know, because, the listeners and the viewers can see my situation. I want you guys, can you paint a little bit of a picture as to what is going on in your situations right now as far as your quarantine or your self-isolation? What does it look like right now when you're sitting here doing this recording?
Well, let's see here. My room really hasn't changed in about 5 years.
Just a different house.
Different house, pretty much, yeah. And if you really think about it, it's probably the fifth house in 5 fucking years, too, because, Jesus Christ, it feels like I'm moving all over the place. But right now, I'm basically just surrounded around my TV, my Xbox, which I've been playing nonstop. My hands have been killing me lately because there's been nothing going on. So I got to take it easy with that.
Oh, yeah?
And, enjoying a nice brew of coffee from Tim Hortons.
That's what I should have done before this episode, is made a nice coffee, because I don't have anything aside from a water and my vape. But,
I feel you. Don, what's your situation looking like?
Speaking of the coffee, that's what I've got going on right now. I'm just brewing up something for the show.
You're brewing up something for the show. Nice.
Yeah.
Special brew, Don's brew, the Roundtable brew.
The Roundtable brew. But yeah, no, I'm not working. I'm off work now. The hours are limited over where I work. So
yeah, no. I know we had spoke a little bit about that before. I was choosing not to work right now either. I don't really feel it's safe to be working in a place that isn't, necessary at the moment. But that's, obviously business's discretion at this point. But yeah, I want to send a big thank you to all the health service workers and bus drivers and garbage men and anybody who's kind of forced to work in these situations right now in scenarios that I'm sure a lot of them probably don't want to be working in. Big thank you to all those people out there, because it's much, much appreciated.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
But yes, so
other than that, for myself, it's the same old,
Yeah, staying indoors or what? Like, have you guys been inside for a significant amount of time, or what are you doing?
For the majority, yes. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't one of those people who was running out there grabbing, a bunch of canned goods and toilet paper. I was kind of pretty, not stocked up, but good with my,
Yeah, feeling like you had enough stuff to keep yourself. As long as you got, I guess, 2 weeks of stuff in your house, that's the main goal, I guess, right now. But the thing is about this whole situation is that it changes day to day, week to week, hour to hour. Like, I find, I was saying this to somebody else I know, and it's kind of, it's one of those things where if it's happening slowly and quickly at the same time, meaning like it's happening quickly as far as the spread is happening quickly, but the slow progression of things getting canceled hasn't all been at once. It's week to week. If you would have told us 2 weeks ago that there would have been no sports happening, then people would have probably said, no, you're crazy. That's not going to happen. And then if you would have told them a week later after that, oh yeah, you're probably not going to go to work either in about a week, then they would have said you're crazy. It's just, do you know what I mean when I say it's happening quick but slow at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a little weird if you think about it too, especially with all like the different routines that we have like on a weekly day basis too, and now how we can't even do that anymore. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like the same thing all the time. You just wake up and then you either move into the washroom to fucking clean yourself up, or you're just going to sit right back down again.
Yeah,
it depends what you're doing, right?
Keep yourself busy and motivated as much as you can while you're indoors. I mean, I went for like a 2-kilometer walk yesterday because I'm used to doing like 16,000 to 20,000 steps in a day at my work. Not that I'm the most active guy in the world, but 20,000 steps a day is decent. And I looked at my phone counter there, and for the week that I've been sitting at home, it was like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 steps a day, maybe. So yesterday I felt like I had to go at least get myself out and walk around a little bit and go for a walk. But I don't know. It's crazy. And the craziest thing about it is that we really don't know how long certain things, like, you know, the gatherings of 50 or more people or 10 more people in some states in the U.S., we don't really know the length of it all. And it's kind of obviously with the way, I'm sure if you're watching or listening and the way you can hear the audio, it's not the same. Nothing's really the same right now. So, I mean, it's day by day, like I said, right?
Yeah, it's like I said before too, it's very unfortunate, right? But I know things will get better hopefully in the next coming months. I don't think this is going to be a whole, you know, because they're talking about with sports wise, like, yeah, F1 is not supposed to start till mid-June, and they have like baseball saying now that they were supposed to start 2 weeks after opening day, which opening day is supposed to be, I think, in a couple of days. Now they're not starting until the middle of May, so it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for a while.
Well, I don't know if you guys want to, but this was, if Donovan, if you're cool that we can just slide into this and kind of make it topic 1 rather than topic 2. I want to talk a little bit about sports in general. Do you guys think we're going to have any sports this year at all?
Don, we'll start with you first.
I mean, if I were to guess right now, I would say, you know, probably not. There may be, I mean, I don't know how you can do certain things might be, you know, able to be done with no fans or in groups. I remember reading something, hearing about them having like possibly certain isolated NBA players doing like mini games or something like that in front of no fans, but I don't even know how true that was. I mean, as far as like active regular season things go, I don't know. It's not looking too good, I would say, right now at this point.
No, I definitely agree with that. What about you, Younger?
Yeah, like I have no idea. It's tough. Like they were saying, like with basketball the other day, how if they do go throughout the season, it's going to probably end in August, and they want to start back up again in December. So
I was going to say, what does that do for the off season at that point?
Yeah, well, I think that was the whole point, right? The players, more than anything, and the owners and everybody wanted at least 2 months off, because that's what they get usually most of the time, right? 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, around that area, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was the whole ideal. Like they said, even if they went back and started playoffs in May and they finished in June, they're saying that's okay because we can start right back up again on normal time. But if you want to do this during the summer and finish in August, there's no way that we're going to start playing basketball in 6 weeks.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way. And they said, if you're going to do this, we're going to have an off season. And I think NHL is going to go down that road, but they're trying to do stuff a little different. I heard that there might be like a different playoff format coming up. I don't know if that's true or not.
Like a tournament, tournament style or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't really know how it's going to work. It might just even be like round robin. They're even saying possibly instead of 7-game series, they're going to move it down to 5-game series. Mm-hmm. So it's different for sure. And I agree with Mariano Rivera used to say, He was the old closer for the Yankees. They were saying that if baseball even started this year and say they played 60 games, no one should win a championship, or it shouldn't be counted. And I kind of agree with that because it's not the same. You know what I mean?
If it's only 60 games?
If it's only 60 games, yeah, because they play 162 in a season, right? And right now, if they're going to start in the middle of May, that's like 145.
But what about
probably even less than that?
And I mean, I'm only asking this because, I mean, we're semi-Formula One podcast, but what about for racing? Do you feel the same way? Like, if they only do 10 races in a season, does that not justify enough races to make up a championship in 2020?
That's a good point. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we all know that Lewis is going for that
7th world title. Yeah, Schumacher's record. So, I'm sure he wants it, obviously, but he was
exactly. But like, would he care though? Like, if
it's bigger. It's bigger.
Races.
He said himself.
Yeah, you think so?
He was the one in Australia saying, you know, cash is king. I don't even think we should be here. And then the race got canceled. So he was definitely in the right mindset at that point. But I don't want to sound like I'm negative and really just not, you know, have any, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. But I just don't think that any of these sports are going to be. I think this whole season for sports is more or less going to be a wash, because unless they start curing people or coming up with a way to have gatherings, it's just going to be smaller and smaller amounts of people. You can't put two teams against each other and have less than 50 people gathering.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't even have a hockey game with no fans in the arena and still get away with it, with not being able to have gatherings of more than 50 people. So I just, between that and the I don't know, some governments and countries are taking it, I think, more seriously than, not more seriously than they need to, but, you know, they're doing more than other countries, basically. I don't want to put anybody down. It's you need to take this as serious as possible. So I think the more serious they take it and they try and lock stuff down, and I don't know, man, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild to think of how quick it happened. Like, we were back to F1, like, they were in Australia. They were there ready to race. They canceled the weekend 2 hours before the race started. And
that's right. Yeah.
It's just, it's an, I don't know, developing story, I guess, is the way to word it. I'm not really sure. It's wild. I don't think, because you were talking about the off season and stuff in baseball and in hockey and basketball, because F1 is, again, they're doing the same sort of thing where the spring break that they normally, or summer break, sorry, that they normally take, you know, around Spa in August has been moved to now. So they now have a mandatory 3-week shutdown of all the teams. But what does that mean going forward? They don't get a break later. How many races is there going to be? And then I don't know if you heard about all the news going forward with next season, and the regulations for 2021 have now been pushed to 2022.
Yeah, I did see that. I did.
The cost cap is going to come into play for 2021, but not the regulations themselves. So I don't know. It's pretty wild. But I really, again, I don't want to sound like I'm not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, or sounding, you know, not morbid is the wrong word, but negative, really. I just don't think this summer, I don't think we're going to be able to gather in any significant group of people until the fall, at least at this point. I don't see it happening. It's spreading too quickly.
I agree. Totally agree. And it's like what we were saying before too, like, you need fans there, right? Like, they're even saying if they're going to run out these playoffs for basketball and hockey, like, there might not be any fans in the building. It's like, what? It's just like, I'd rather it just be canceled. Start all over again. You know what I mean?
I think so too. I mean, yeah. But I said this to you guys, in our little Instagram group, and of all the sports that could run that need fans, I think the one that's still running is the one that needs fans more than any other sport, and that's professional wrestling, which we can kind of, you know, start talking about now. Is, what have you guys thought about these no fan Raw and SmackDown episodes from the PC, as well as AEW doing the no fan shows from, I think, multiple arenas? I'm not sure where they're recording those out of. But I personally said before this all happened, I was like, well, if there's one sport that absolutely needs the fans are integral to the performance, that's pro wrestling. And here we are in a post-sports 2020 world, and we still get wrestling tonight on Monday, the day we were recording this roundtable.
Don, start with you first.
Yeah, I mean, where do I begin with this, man? This is what a time, I guess, you know, for one, I want to say, because I don't know, for me personally, I can say, you know, we always talk about, like, or at least used to more consistently about, like, you know, storylines and lack of, or their things being up and down, and things like of that nature. But to me personally, like, I was really looking forward to this WrestleMania, like, going into it. So, like, from my point of view, at least, I think they had a lot of good setup, like singles matches and just feuds in general that I was kind of excited for. And now to have it be so,
lackluster.
It's going to be so, lackluster, watered down. Like, I don't know what the right word is here I'm looking for, but it
doesn't seem real at all.
Yeah, it's still very, very surreal. Like, and we can have the conversation now. I'm curious to know your guys' opinion too on if they should have, maybe postponed it, or like we said, things develop every day. Like, is it gonna go down for sure? I know they're talking about doing this whole 2-day event, but to me, like, I mean, just as a fan, not to sound super selfish about it and inconsiderate of the whole situation, but it's just like, it's really it's crazy, man, because this was actually looking like a really good card in comparison to things that we've had in the past, even several, like 5 years, I want to say, and like even down to like the Hall of Fame lineup, it was looking really good too. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty unfortunate.
No, I completely, especially with the Hall of Fame
part.
Yeah,
how's the Hall of Fame going to work? Are they just going to show up at Triple H's office and then just, there you go, we're going to sign the paper, you're a Hall of Famer, congratulations?
I've heard rumblings about them moving it to SummerSlam.
That's cool.
Because you don't need. It's not like there's no storyline involved in inducting somebody in the Hall of Fame. I mean, aside from, well, no, Edge is already in the Hall of Fame. I thought maybe they would. Never mind. But I was serious. I wasn't even trying to be funny there. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think that would be a big issue as far as moving the Hall of Fame. But I mean, yeah, not to sound selfish, just I'm with you, Donovan. I don't think this was the best idea to continue on with this. Not only 2 nights, but just WrestleMania in front of no one. I think it's one thing to do WrestleMania in front of nobody at the PC on Monday nights when there's no other sports on TV, to try and, keep people watching your show that, we own the building. We're going to make sure we only have X amount of people here, which is under the limit, and we're still going to put on entertainment for you. I appreciate and totally understand the whole fact of that. The show must go on. But for WrestleMania, personally, I think it's a different conversation.
It's the biggest one. The biggest pay-per-view they have every year.
Well, it's like, you think WrestleMania, and you don't necessarily you think about the crowd. You think about the moments of the, the Drew McIntyre, if he wins this championship from Brock Lesnar, are they doing fireworks outside the PC, or is there? And I don't mean to be. I'm just being serious. Like, this guy, and I know it's not all about his career. We're thinking about everybody, but this guy's worked forever to get to this point. Like, it's kind of a shitty moment just to keep the show going forward. But that being said, to play the devil's advocate and talk about what Donovan mentioned, how do you keep these storylines that are good right now, that have been some of the better ones that we've had in the last few years? How do you extend that? If you extend WrestleMania to, a big mega weekend it's called Wrestle Summer Mania, and it's a double weekend, and it's a 2-night event, and it's a big WrestleMania SummerSlam show. How do you keep these storylines going till August if you're doing these no fans at the PC, arena shows?
See, dude, like, what I think would have been a good idea, that this is just my opinion, is that, if they were to maybe postpone Mania and move, and like, I posed this question to you. I think we talked on the phone maybe like a week ago, and I was like, but how would they, like, you can't have Edge and Orton feuding from now until
exactly
SummerSlam or whatever, right? Like, it would be very hard to do. But like, one other thing that I thought that they could have maybe incorporated is, like, man, well, you want to continue these Raws and SmackDowns, we could have just scrap the whole fucking thing and still proceed, as in, maybe, this week on Raw, we're going to get Orton and Edge as the main event, and they're going to fight in the fucking arena. And, maybe the following week we get, hey, here's the match you were going to get at Mania. Here's Becky and Baszler, and they fight for and you just do maybe week by week.
They just happen.
You know what I mean?
And they make it like the main event of Raw every week is one of these.
Yeah, or SmackDown, one of these landmark matches, one of the bigger matches, I would say. You can still sprinkle in the other stuff in between there too.
No, that's actually not a bad idea at all, and I didn't really think of that. That's because, I mean, you're not doing. I guess the problem at that point is there a WrestleMania still, or are we skipping it? Or are we doing it later with different storylines? Or when we go back and look at WrestleMania 36, right? That's what we're at. Did it exist in that scenario?
Yeah, very true.
You know?
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you guys were saying before. Like maybe even if they did it at SummerSlam, they call it fucking WrestleSlam instead of WrestleMania.
Something.
You know what I mean? Like they just do like a big combination together. But I do like what Don was saying. Like just have like 2 or 3 main events. Oh no, 2 main events, right? Like the
week
ones
by
that were
week,
supposed to be in WrestleMania. Do it weekly, right? That's a good idea. I completely agree. That's actually really smart. I didn't even think about that.
And I mean, not that this is the time to be thinking about it, but you're going to pop ratings. Like you put Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar in the main event of Monday Night Raw for the WWE Championship, and somebody's going to tune in. Like they're going to want to see that. And then if you do Roman and Goldberg on SmackDown, it's just, are you missing out on pay-per-view buys? And that's, network buys and all. And it becomes a money thing, like this whole global situation right now. It's, I wish I had a Ted DiBiase soundbite.
Another one I wanted to just quickly talk about too with you guys was the whole. I didn't get to watch the episode either, or really, I don't think I've seen any of it. But the last week's Raw, with how it was 316 day and this and that. Now I'm not going to take all the credit for what I'm about to say. I heard it on the Wrestling Soup podcast, but they were just talking about how. Why would you like? It's kind of strange that they popped in that Rumble clip for a good portion of the show. It's like
most of the show.
Day, no, but you think about this. Actually, I thought was a good idea. Like they could. Why didn't they maybe have different clips of Austin throughout the night? Like that would have been like.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like old clips on the milk truck and that or in the beer truck and that kind of stuff.
No, matches or famous promos, and then at the end we haven't talked. We don't need because nothing else really. Like what else happened on the show? Like was there?
There was something. No, I was gonna say Sami Zayn, but I think that was
promo, I believe.
Edge's promo. They did show stuff but it's all stuff we've all seen a gazillion times. You know what I mean? It was the beer truck and the flipping off Vince and that kind of stuff. It was all because they did show clips, but it wasn't extended clips like what you're talking about with the showing Royal Rumble.
I mean, like what I'm saying, like to elaborate on it, I guess is that. Man, if they needed to buy a week and they needed things to fill in, like this would have been a perfect time to do that, right?
Absolutely, especially with it being 316 day. Younger, did you see this segment?
I did.
What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I got mixed emotions. I got definitely mixed emotions. First of all, looking at that in general, Becky Lynch doesn't know how to drink a beer. I'll tell you that. I don't know I don't know what she was doing there. That was ridiculous.
Well, I noticed that too. Just to back her up because she is my girl. I think what she was doing was too much of actually trying to drink the whole beer. Whereas when you're in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's more about the show. Whereas like she was putting her whole mouth around the beer and like trying to actually chug the whole beer, which I noticed. And I'm like, Becky, like I get that you want to drink it and shit, but like you got to just cover yourself in this beer. Like you got to if 2/3 of that or 1/4 of that beer gets in your mouth, okay, so be it. Just get him to toss you a couple more.
Exactly.
That's the way I looked at it, at least, just to defend my girl a little.
Yeah, it's I know what you're saying.
I'm sure she could still drink Seth under the fucking table. But.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I wonder what Rollins was thinking backstage too. Like, my God. Like, but other than that, though, like it was still pretty cool. Like, I agree too. Like what Don said, like they should have done like videos, like because it was 316 day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as of what I've gotten told or what I've seen, not got told, but what I've seen on Twitter, it looks like this Raw coming up and SmackDown is going to be taped.
Yeah, you mentioned that a little bit before we hit record. I wanted you to wait till we talking about it now. So. Is that's confirmed for the episode that we're recording today, March 23rd, Monday, is not going to be live, nor will the SmackDown episode later in the week?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yep.
Huh. I wonder why. I wonder if it's easier to produce the television show, or maybe they can get more people on the show because they can record it over the course of 2 or 3 days. Whereas if you have a 3-hour show for Monday Night Raw and you can only have 50 people in the building, including, backstage people, maybe you can only, because I've heard they've only had, a handful of wrestlers at each of these tapings. So maybe if,
well, that kind of makes sense.
Maybe
right?
if you do it not live and you record Monday Night Raw over the course of 3 days, you can have a variety of superstars coming on the show that wouldn't normally be able to come on the show because there wouldn't be that many people allowed in the building. That's the only thing I can think of as far as why they would want to do that.
Yeah. I could definitely see it too. Because they have that whole thing right now. Was it 50 people in the building or something like that?
It depends, man. Some places in the States, they're telling you not to gather more than 10 people.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It should be like that. That's what it should be, more than anything.
Like we talked about at the beginning, man, I really don't think anybody who's not absolutely an essential service to the community and to the world really right now should be staying home at all costs. As long as you have the funds to be able to do so, then you should be, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But yeah, back to the how about a little bit of AEW and how they've done the no fans rather than, the difference between them and WWE?
Yeah, that was cool. It was definitely different, right? It's weird seeing this, like, obviously, right, just in general, but it was pretty cool. Like we were talking about earlier, I like what you said that the camera was facing the stage the whole time.
Smart.
I think that was pretty smart.
Very, very.
Yeah, it definitely was smart.
It reminded me of like a New Japan. I think there's a few shows when you watch maybe not Wrestle Kingdom, but some of the other wrestling New Japan pay-per-views, like the ones they do when they're in the States.
Yeah.
What's the one they always do in California there, where Kenny won the U.S. belt for the first time? What's it called? Somebody help me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. I think they fought at that pyramid or whatever it was.
Yeah,
pyramid type of place.
Yeah, that pay-per-view. I can't remember the name of that pay-per-view.
Oh, the pay-per-view. Yeah. What's it called?
Either way,
I should know this too.
I know you're the big New Japan
whatever.
guy.
I want to.
Mike D, where are you? Anyway, that one.
Oh yeah, it might be actually. Yeah. You're right. I think it is.
What did he say? Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was like G1 Supercard or something of that. Like I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. That's probably it. Either way.
Supercard was at Madison Square Garden.
Okay. Well, either way, the camera angle, like
Either
you said, Younger, that's what I think that was a good choice, because then you're not literally showing empty seats. Like you see them, but it's kind of blacked out the way they shot. Like the arena looked a lot smaller, I think, than it actually was because of how dark it was everywhere. And then
true. That was so cool what they did with the wrestlers, though. Like they were the fans for the night.
Well,
they put the heels on one side and baby faces on the other.
That's exactly what I was going to say next. Is the little touches of and I guess Sean Spears is a heel. Yeah, Sean Spears. Jesus, I almost called him Ty Dillinger, but he is a heel, right? Because he was on the same side as the ring as MJF.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
taking bets.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. It was very different, but also unique and interesting because, yeah, what can we do? There's no fans. Well, these guys have to be here anyway because maybe they've got a match later or something. I don't know, but let's put them there and they can kind of be like the fans for the night. And then it still feels like the wrestlers are performing for somebody other than the announcers and the people on TV. Obviously, when you watch SmackDown and Raw, like we know that they're performing for us. There's millions of people watching on TV. It's not like we think that there's no one watching, but it's nice to actually have them be performing for somebody in the building other than just the announcers that are there. I think AEW did a really good job and figured out a way to kind of do this no fans thing, and they don't even have their own building, right? Like they still have to go to, I'm assuming, these other buildings?
Yeah, they go to their locations in Jacksonville.
Oh, they do have like a home base, though.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. See, that I didn't know. I thought they were still going to all over the U.S., traveling to arenas, just performing in front of nobody. I didn't realize they had... I mean, it doesn't surprise me with the money that Tony Khan has, but I didn't realize they had a venue that was more or less theirs that they were able to record out of, like the PC for WWE.
Yeah, they got they have their little home base.
They
did it outside too last week. I forget where it was. I think it's like a little auditorium that they have in Jacksonville, and that's where they do it. So
I guess they could always do it it would be a little weird, but they could always do it at the Jacksonville arena.
Yeah.
it would look
fucking hilarious.
It would look a little strange, but I'm sure you could do it. I've seen Matt Hardy and the Bucks do that. Didn't they do that show back in the day in like a baseball stadium? I remember Mike D showing.
Yeah, what's it called? I think Northeast Wrestling does that.
Yeah,
Usually the pay-per-views are at the Diamond.
At the Diamond, yeah, which is cool. I mean, it's interesting and different. I guess I want to go back to Mania a little bit because I want to talk. We only briefly mentioned it, just the 2 days with Gronkowski and how that's kind of confirmed now.
Well, one thing I got, it's again sucks. It's unfortunate that it took this to see it happen. But hey, man, I swear we might have talked about this last year, just as fans, being like, why not separate?
Why not separate?
Like, it's too fucking long. You know what I mean?
It is, but
I'm okay with the 2 days. But it's unfortunate that this is what it took for that to have to happen, and maybe it's a one-off. I don't know, right? Like,
yeah, I still am in the boat of just make the show shorter. You know what I mean? Not every team makes the Super Bowl. Like, it's kind of the way that I would rather them do it this way, because if they're saying we're doing it no matter what, I don't think doing a 6 hour to however long they would make it show in front of nobody is going to work. And back to what we already talked about earlier, I don't think they could get everybody that's on the WrestleMania card in the building at once. I think that if you're in the opener, well, sorry, you got to check out and leave after your match so Brock Lesnar and Drew, who are waiting outside in their cars, can check in. Or however, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So I think that's why they're forced to, is the combination of, A, we're not canceling any matches. Everybody who has a match is having a match. Like, I really don't think Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens needed to have a match. Like, I don't know. Maybe they did, and I'm not mad that 2 of the better guys of this era are fighting at the biggest show of the year, but it's just like some of these matches, like Baron Corbin, I think, is fighting somebody, and I can't remember right now, somebody on SmackDown, I think.
Elias.
Yeah, Elias. Like, why? Do we really need to get that on the... it's not even like you have the excuse of okay, it's a massive crowd, we want to make sure everybody has their moment. Like, this is the year that I think that you have that excuse and nobody can say anything. Like, you can make Mania 3 hours and just put the best 4 or 5 matches, and that's your show. And then it's not like...
Yeah.
Like, I mean, nobody should say anything fucking anyway because of the scenario that we're in globally. But what are they going to say? Like, oh, I wanted to be on the show. Like, well, sorry, we don't want to. I don't know. I guess maybe they're going to get more buys, and they're putting Gronk on, which I don't have anything against Gronk, but I just don't know, like, why they treat him like he's I don't know. They treat him like he used to wrestle in WCW or something. Like he has some sort of wrestling background. Do you know what I mean?
What do you think of that entrance?
Well, the music, or just I didn't really pay attention, and like, in my opinion, like, I don't have anything against the person Mojo, but the character is just not, like, you do not want to be associating yourself with that guy on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it's, I don't know. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing, because this is a sport that we love and we're still able to watch it. Just for a quick second, I'll talk about what I did yesterday, and that's watched a bunch of NASCAR real drivers do a sim race in iRacing that was on freaking TV, couldn't believe, and then a bunch of F1 drivers and esports drivers do a sim racing, virtual racing online. So I love the fact that, at the LookBack podcast, pro wrestling and racing have found a way to continue in this.
Yeah,
post.
I agree.
Gathering.
I watched that race too, Dick. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Did you see, which one did you watch?
I didn't watch yesterday. I didn't watch Bahrain yesterday, but I watched Australia's last week.
Oh, okay, sweet. This one that I was talking about, the NASCAR, man, it was crazy. I was watching TV on, like, regular, not YouTube, like TV, Fox Sports, and they started doing national anthems, and it was this guy who was in his garage singing the national anthem, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they're showing the crowd, and, like, I'm like, well, this can't be live. I'm like, there can't be this many people at any arena or speedway right now. This doesn't make sense. And then I kept looking closer. I'm like, this is iRacing. I'm like, this is a game. And it was literally a full broadcast with Jeff Gordon and all the commentators from NASCAR doing a broadcast of an iRacing race in NASCAR. It was insane. So
that's wild.
Yeah, it was awesome, and that's
actually crazy. Smart though.
Yeah, super smart, because I mean, you're actually still driving, using a wheel, using pedals. You're on a rig. It's not like you're just sticking a controller in Austin Matthews' hand or something and telling him to play NHL. No offense to hockey, it's not getting the Leafs to play NHL 20 isn't exactly the same as asking a real racing driver to go play iRacing. It's apples and oranges. But I don't know. That's a bit of a side topic as far as just sports still going on in general. Did you guys want to talk a little more about WrestleMania at all, or anything else from the wrestling side of stuff?
Well, there's the one thing I wanted to bring up that a friend of mine posed a question to me, and I found it hilarious. So I have a buddy, Mike. He used to watch wrestling. He was at WrestleMania 18, everything like that.
Oh, him too. Jeez, I swear, me and Younger got to be the only motherfuckers in this area that didn't go, that watch wrestling,
like a loser.
That didn't go. It's okay. I'm with you, Younger. We didn't like.
It's okay, man. You know my doomsday story about that. So okay.
Yeah. I don't know if we should. I mean, yeah.
We'll save that for the WrestleMania 18 look back.
Yeah, exactly. Which should be coming. Maybe we'll wait for we can be in the same room to record that one. I don't want to do that one remotely.
Nonetheless, so my buddy, he asked me, he goes, "Hey man," he's like, we were just talking on the phone, checking up on each other, and he's like, "Yeah, I was flipping through and I was watching wrestling the other day." He's like, "Wow, it seems like they're pulling out all the stops." He's like, "I seen like Stone Cold and Goldberg and Edge," and he's like, "Wow," he's like, "This is pretty crazy." Like,
yeah, I guess it would come across that way.
Right? So he's thinking that, because of the situation, he's like, that maybe they're pulling out all the stops. And I was like, well, that's not exactly it. And he's like, but you know what I was thinking, man? He's like, why are they using microphones?
Yeah, you said that because they're not really talking anymore.
What does he mean?
Like he means in the ring.
In the ring doing a promo, he's like, well, there's no fans. He's like, I can hear you. Like, I'm watching TV. Like, I can hear what you're saying. Why are they using microphones?
It makes...
And I was like, you know what, man? That's a great question.
It makes
I didn't even think
perfect sense.
I think I heard Michael Cole echo last week.
Oh, I definitely heard Sami Zayn echo because he was screaming so loud from the commentary table that you could hear him on the microphones in the ring. But I think I am no expert by any means, but I think the main reason that they're using the mic, because it's a great point, like a very, very, well thought point. But I think if you weren't using a microphone in the ring, then you would have to be using the microphone on the camera that's in the ring. And the cameraman would have to keep a specific distance, or they would need a separate guy with a boom mic behind the cameraman above the wrestler catching the audio, because I don't know how consistent the audio would be with the cameraman not always being in the same spot, especially with the wrestlers kind of moving around. That was my thoughts. So that microphone isn't being projected into the arena. I think the sounds of that microphone are being projected into the camera rather than are in the arena. Because if it was in the arena, then you would just hear a massive echo. And it would be fucking pointless because exactly who are you talking to? I think the purpose of the microphone is to capture the audio for the audio of the camera, and that the camera.
This is just my own question on it too, though. But like, my buddy had mentioned to me, he's like, it just seems kind of like lazy. He's like, they don't. Why are they doing promos in the ring? Like when this is and I really agree with this part of it too. Like you could be doing a lot more, maybe backstage, or like even Edge, for example. Like all props to the man for going there and leaving his home and going and doing the promo. But it's like he could have done that from his house. Like I didn't need to see Edge in the ring on Raw. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I mean, thank you for doing it, Edge, because he took the risk to leave his house and go there. I see what you're saying, but yeah, and was it necessarily needed, or could have we had Edge in his garage screaming at his iPhone and done the same?
Yeah, true. Yeah, not to mention too, that Beth Phoenix said that his flight got canceled, and then he had to drive all the way there. Like it took him 17 hours.
Jesus Christ!
If I'm not mistaken.
But as crazy as that does sound, maybe. In this world right now, I'm not going anywhere near an airplane. Like I would rather drive the way we're at right now. I'm just saying, as far as going anywhere near an airport, it's not really somewhere I want to be right now.
For the next little while, at least.
Well, yeah, like we talked about, I don't anticipate this going anywhere anytime soon, especially with, how serious. I don't know. I don't think some of the governments, in my opinion, are taking it as serious as they need to be, but I'm not also the person that needs to be making those decisions either. So, to each his own. But yeah, I don't know what else we can get into unless you guys want to keep going on some of this stuff. I mean, was there any other matches that you're super excited to see for WrestleMania? When is WrestleMania? Is it another week or so? We still got time, don't we?
This Saturday.
No.
Oh, no, sorry, 2 weeks, sorry.
The following,
Two
yeah.
Saturdays from now.
Today's the 23rd, like I said. So yeah, so maybe if you guys are free, we can do a preview show if you're interested, before WrestleMania.
I'm down.
Next week, maybe next Monday during the day. I don't know. Who knows what we're going to be back to work. We may have lots of time. We may put out 5 more shows, listeners. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
You never know what you might expect from us. We might start looking back at, I don't know, Caddyshack, the movie or something. But
I just actually found out some information here, though, actually, quickly.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So I just found out that I thought it was going to be taped for Raw. It is actually live tonight.
Okay.
But this is from CagesideSeats.com. They have like their own little page, I guess, for wrestling. They hear about their news.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Raw is going to be live tonight, but they have a lot of people in the building for the next couple of days because they're going to be taping WrestleMania this week.
Oh, that's what they're doing. So what I suggested or thought they might be doing for Raw and SmackDown is what they're going to be doing for WrestleMania. So they're going to be taping WrestleMania over the course of... See, I thought WrestleMania would still be live. That shocks me.
Me too.
That shocks me.
Yeah, me too.
That makes me even more upset, I think. I mean, at that point, it's all a TV show anyway, but you're really just watching a TV show at that point.
That's right, yeah. That's right. And like I see on here too, like they even put down like you're not even going to see any botched finishes or anything because now it's going to be taped.
Well, yeah,
usually when you see stuff live, shit happens.
It'll
right?
be like SmackDown, circa, I don't know, help me out, Don, 2000 what?
Yeah, 2007.
Well, and not up until it became SmackDown Live.
Like 2010, 2011.
Not even I think.
Yeah,
what was it, 15 or wasn't it something like that? Because it was taped up until.
Oh, yeah, the whole era of like 2013, 14, yeah, when it was on Fridays, yeah.
Yeah, that was all.
Tuesday or whatever, I don't know.
It was. I remember it was so weird when I first got back into watching wrestling. It was on Thursday nights, but in Canada it was on Wednesday, so you could watch SmackDown.
That's right.
You could watch SmackDown a day early in Canada, in 20.
But it was filmed on Tuesday.
Exactly, but it was filmed on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Weird. Freaking weird. But yeah, they
weird times, man.
What about Don? I want to get because I'm not following it at all. I guess you too. My bad. What's going on with the UFC?
As of right now, they were supposed to fight on the weekend, and then CDC came through, which is the Control Disease
Center for
it's called. I forget what.
Center for Disease Control. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically they stepped in, and Dana even said if they didn't step in, we were still going to run the show. Like
he's nuts.
But at the same time, it's unreal for us, of course, right? But it's pretty crazy. But as of right now, they postponed the next couple events, and now that they're saying that the big fight that's coming up soon, which is Habib versus Tony Ferguson, on April, I think it was supposed to be 15th or something, April 15th, 16th, 17th, or 18th, one of the four. I don't even know what it was.
Whatever one's a Saturday.
Exactly. But now that was supposed to be at Madison Square Garden, I believe. That they just moved that. So it looks like they're going to be doing that at the Apex Center, I think it is, in Las Vegas, which is like the performance center for WWE.
But it's still happening.
But it is, yes. Apparently, as of right now.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's because I'm surprised you didn't tell me that, Don, just because you've been updating me on this Khabib situation more or less every day. I just know you were convinced it's cursed, basically, that this match can't happen.
Seriously, because it's ridiculous. The guy doesn't fight.
Until I see the two of them in front of each other, I'm still. It's
not confirmed.
Up in the air on.
I totally agree.
So is this like where they tape the Ultimate Fighter? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So that would be weird then, watching those two fight in like the Ultimate Fighter type setting.
That would be hilarious, though.
But maybe,
you know what, I'm down.
Yeah, maybe it's like more raw, though, right? Like you can really hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You hear everything. You hear I don't know. You could just hear it all. I feel like Khabib would.
Yeah, I want to hear Khabib bitching at him.
Well, that's what I feel like. I feel like he'd probably smack talk him a bit and fucking, chirp him, call him old. Yeah. You old men, old men. Isn't that what he was chirping him about, being an old man or something like that? I think I remember seeing a video. I don't know.
Fuck, I didn't see that, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I right or wrong, Don? I think I saw a video of him.
Oh yeah, no, he was. Yeah, but you know what's interesting about that too? Like, Young, I don't know if you didn't see that press conference with the two of them.
No, I haven't actually. No.
Oh, yeah, watch that.
It's interesting because so at the end of the press conference, they're standing there doing the face-off, and Tony has his old style UFC belt, and Khabib's holding up his, and then Tony puts it down, basically right in between them, and they're in each other's face, and Khabib kicks the belt, like he kicks it to the ground, like he just boots it off the stage.
Oh.
And I was like, wow. Like, no, I was just interested by this because, like, in all the smack talk that like Khabib has had to deal with in the past from like McGregor, and they really hated each other. You never seen him really get rattled. Like, he was always very composed in those like situations, and I feel like Tony's actually got to him.
You think so, really, eh?
Well, yeah, simply just off of that reaction and the way he was acting like throughout the press conference, I was like, wow, like he's really kind of, not
on edge.
He's in his head a little bit, I think.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. I got to watch that because that is trippy to hear because it's true. Like he never gets like that at all. Yeah. So that is very trippy. I'm gonna have to look back at that. That's crazy.
That's what we do, Young.
That's very true. Yes, that's true.
That is what we. And you're back now. You're back looking back. So we're gonna hold you to it.
That's right.
We're gonna chain you down with the ball into the shed once you can come here. I'm just gonna put a bed out in the shed.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm down.
Oh yeah. But no, it's.
Fuck, once this is all over, I'm probably coming to sleep over for like 4 days. I miss friends.
I miss friends too. Like I said, I think we should do this more often. I wanted to talk about one more little thing though before we leave, if you guys are cool.
Yeah.
I figure this is something we're all doing right now anyway. Majority of the listeners probably as well. So what's on the quarantine watch list? What have you?
We'll start with yours first.
What have you guys been watching? I'm sure you got lots of time if you're not just playing the games and reading books. I'm sure that people want to know what's some good shit that they should be watching and partaking in on maybe the Netflix or the Disney Pluses or the Crunchy Rolls if that's your foreplay.
Yeah, Frozen 2 just came out on Disney Plus. Everyone check it out.
Yeah. Actually, it's a good one, Nick. While I got you here, you know what I watched last night was Sausage Party.
Oh, buddy, how awesome is that movie?
Oh yeah, it was great,
dude.
Is that the one with Seth Rogen?
Yeah, bro, it's the one with the food, and they all like in the grocery store, but it's like super rated R, and there's the douche. And
oh yeah, I heard that one. Fuck.
Oh, have you not seen it?
Crazy stuff. No, I haven't.
Add it to
you need to watch
quarantine watch list. Add it.
Quarantine watch list.
That's what this is. This is going to be the last segment of all the quarantine roundtables. I'm making that the decision right now. This is
okay, so here's another one I got for you. Man, we were talking about don't go back and watch movies you've already seen.
Yeah, but I'm literally watching Star Wars Episode 1 as we speak. So it's been in the background. This movie, Episode 1's been on Showcase on TV the whole time we've been recording. So I can't really speak on that. But anyway.
We had I have a roommate lives upstairs from me, right? Mm-hmm. So we were having a kind of a little game night the other night. Jenga and random shit like that.
Oh shit! Okay, nice.
And,
OG.
In the background, we happened to throw on once again, man, that movie, that Million Ways to Die.
Oh fuck! Have you seen that too, Younger? These are all like just very stupid, funny movies, but that movie's hilarious. A Million Ways to Die in the West, I think it is.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane, right?
Liam Neeson and Charlize Theron and stuff. It's set in the Wild West, but it's just a pure comedy. Like, it's not a serious movie by any means. Definitely add that to your watch list too, young dog.
All right.
Another one, man. This is just because yesterday was my movie day, I guess. I watched Donnie Brasco again.
Oh. Again, that's crazy. I bugged you for a year about how you had never seen that movie, and now you've seen it twice in 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I called this guy Donnie Brasco like 6 times on the show before he'd ever even seen the movie. That's amazing. Young, I got another one for you, actually, because me and Donovan talked a little bit about this before, but I watched a fucked up movie last night, man. Holy shit. You into horror flicks at all?
Yes.
Okay, there's a movie on Netflix. I think it's called Terrifier. Is that how you say it, Don?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifier. It's a movie about this clown, the murderer clown. Bro, I don't know if I've watched a movie that messed up in quite some time. Like, it was just an insanely weird and, I don't know, very well done horror movie in my opinion, because it it's trying to feel like a 1980s, 1970s slasher flick, and it really has that feel, and it was made in like 2016. So if you're into that kind of stuff, and I mean, I'm not always into that, but sometimes it's 1:30 in the morning and you're looking for something to watch, and that's what you come across, and then you're afraid to go walk back inside. But I don't
You're afraid to go up the stairs when it's dark.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But other than that, man, as far as for me, I've just been watching, again, more stuff I've already seen. I think I watched Deadpool was on TV. Transformers might have been on TV, and I watched it. I'm watching Phantom Menace right now. It looks like they're showing a preview for Attack of the Clones later on this afternoon or tonight, which I'll probably watch. I don't know.
120th time.
Well, yeah, definitely. Clone Wars especially.
Great series,
I'm one of the weirdos that loves that specific movie too, the Clone Wars. But yeah, I don't know. I just figured that's a good thing. That everybody's watching a lot of shit right now, so I figured it's why not meld that into this conversation. Was there anything that you've been watching, Young, that you want to?
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this quickly, man. I just watched what's it called, Drive to Survive, the F1 series.
Oh,
I caught right up.
You watched the whole thing?
Oh my God, Jesus! We could literally have like a full 3.5 hour conversation on that alone.
We could
like,
do.
It's just.
I could call Will and Phil, and we might be able to do like a phone call 4-way Drive to Survive podcast. We could set that up.
I am so down because that was so cool. Like, I know it's already stuff that we've seen.
Oh yeah,
like,
well, it's all from the
wise,
2019
but it's so
season.
cool behind the scenes.
Oh
yeah,
absolutely.
Sure.
And realistically, they didn't even really show you. They didn't focus that much on the actual season and the points and the championship. It was more just about the drama within the season itself.
For sure, yeah, sure. Like that one with Force India, that was crazy.
Yeah, well,
like,
Racing Point. So don't worry, I do it still too.
Jesus.
Racing
Point.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It'll be whatever happens next year now at this point, but it'll be Aston Martin Racing next year. So don't worry.
That's right.
Yeah. Don, have you seen that at all? Just in your, because I know you have Netflix, right?
Yeah. What was that? Sorry.
The Formula One Drive to Survive Netflix documentary series that they've got out now, season 2.
No, you know what? I've actually stumbled across it, and I did consider watching it a couple of times.
You should just watch maybe the first episode, and then maybe if at that point you're not into it, then don't watch anymore. But I know you're not a massive Formula One guy, but it's a pretty darn cool show just in general, even if you're not a big racing guy.
Yeah, they explain like a lot what F1 is actually in the first episode too.
Even
which
just,
I liked. That was really cool.
Even just drive by, Jesus Christ. Scroll by and watch the trailer. I don't know. It's definitely worth a watch, but I don't know. There's a lot of shit on Netflix, right? Everybody keeps
10 out of 10 for sure.
Everybody's talking about that.
If you weren't a racing fan, oh God, it doesn't matter. 10 out of 10, like hands down.
What's up with that?
Did a great job.
Tiger documentary though, because I keep seeing everybody talk about this Tiger documentary.
I think everyone's talking about it because everyone's bored, so they're just putting it on. In my opinion, because I see that on Twitter today too.
Am I weird?
I'm gonna check it out too.
Am I weird that like I had interest in watching it until I saw that it was on the front page, and then I wouldn't watch it?
Oh, because
I hear you on that.
Because like
sometimes the overhype can.
Like I seen like somebody put it in their story, like, hey, like you should watch this, and like it kind of explained it, and I was like, I'd maybe watch that. And then I opened Netflix, and it was like the top thing at the top of Netflix, and I'm like, I'm not watching this. Just because it's too mainstream. I don't know if that's just me being a weirdo, but I'm like, yeah.
Oh, true.
I'm like, yeah, no. Now that this is at the top of the Netflix feed, I have no interest. I think that's the reason I watched.
I thought you were talking about like what was on the front page, like the front cover of it, like because that guy's hair is ridiculous.
Oh,
crazy.
Well, that too, but I just
looks like Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh man,
like it's wild.
Yeah, there's.
Here's on the watch list for the wrestling fans.
Yeah, there you go.
That the Ruthless Aggression little series. I watched another episode of that actually last night.
Do you know how many they've done?
I think there's 4 or 5 maybe. I want to say that.
Yeah, I think I've only seen the first one. I want to watch the Evolution one.
The John Cena one. I watched the second one last night. That was the one I seen. It was pretty cool.
And like,
sorry.
I just thought your thoughts on it. Like, was it? John Cena? Was it literally just his run?
Very much. It was like it was almost like a mini John Cena documentary
about that era,
which I found was interesting. Yeah, but it was cool, man. There was things in there that I didn't even know, like a couple little things, but definitely that's something worth checking out, I think. Yeah,
and speaking, you mentioned, I can't remember at this point if you talked about it when we were recording or not, but the Bret Hart Stone Cold sit down. What's it called? Broken Skull Sessions.
Yes, yeah.
That's
I started watching that. I gotta finish that.
Anybody who, checked out the look back that me and you did of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12, you get a little more insight when you watch that sit down with Austin. And I like the way that Austin was like prying him, opposed to that other documentary with Jim Ross, whereas Jim Ross, I feel like was trying to be a little more respectful.
Yeah.
Not that Stone Cold obviously wasn't trying to be respectful. I feel like he's a little more of the same era, so he can kind of ask him like one of the boys rather than just, I'm sure, Jim Ross was like one of the bosses, I guess, at the time.
Yeah. Really get that other perspective too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything else before,
Somebody was chirping Bret Hart the other day, saying how he was an overrated champion.
Who's that?
Him and Shawn Michaels.
Who was chirping?
Oh, who was it? It was on Twitter.
Oh, like another wrestler.
It's like a wrestler too. Like it's an actual wrestler. I forget. Somebody said it. It blew up though. They were saying how like they were shitty champions.
Somebody being a goof.
Oh, who was it? I'm pissed. I should know this for the listeners at least.
Well, if it was somebody like MJF, I'm okay with it. Maybe they were just trying to
play their character.
No, it was like I think it was back in like their era.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't. It was probably somebody who, isn't wrestling.
I really want to know who
bitter and somebody just bitter, a bitter old wrestler.
Johnson or something?
It was insane. Like I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Look it up.
Why would you say that?
Can you find it here while we're? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll try to look it up. You guys talk about something real quick. I'm gonna try to look it up.
Yeah, I got something else here. Maybe this one's for you, Nick. I think you should. I think now's a good time to get into the MLW.
Okay, because I have time.
Let's go.
Where do I start?
You already know.
No, because an interesting point about them is that, like, man, so much of their stuff is also, it's pre-taped. Like, these guys definitely aren't going to be hurting for content right now because, like I said to you, I think last week when I was talking to you about watching the match with Killer Cross and Tom Lawler, but it's, like, well documented that Cross has, been signed at WWE for, like,
and you said
I feel like a little over a month now.
Yeah, so, and you said they talked about that on commentary.
Yeah, they brought it up because I guess when they filmed it, they knew, but this was filmed like a couple months back. So I feel like they got a lot of content still to come out in the coming weeks that it's just already filmed stuff.
That's awesome for them because then they don't have to worry about, making the content.
Yeah.
No, that's...
And it's just a good little short, it's on YouTube. I feel like now would be a good time to get into it.
You said they're like an hour-long episode each, roughly?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I will check some of them out. I got to be honest, I haven't been watching too much wrestling, but even racing, that was on a kick there before the Formula One season where I was watching a different old race every day, and now I've just been sticking with movies and then doing my own racing on the simulator stuff. I'm sure people have seen on my own personal social media stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
As much as you were saying about, like, the watch list and stuff, I'm other than, like, yesterday, I got to tell you, man, I really haven't even been, like, turning on Netflix a lot until maybe yesterday. Like, I've been listening to a lot of music lately.
Totally. You also haven't been off work as long as I have. I've been off for, not even a full week yet, but this coming 2 more days and I will have been off for 7 full days. So
yeah.
It's more time, I guess, but I'm sure it'll come. You'll be diving in.
Gotta get the home gym set up. That's the next step here.
I might have to try and do something like that too, or even just the steps. And then we had friggin', not that it's, I don't know. We had snow today, the day we're recording, so it's like I don't really want to go out and walk around in the snow today. But
yeah,
the list for me, like there's a few movies that I own that I wanna or probably should watch because I've never seen them, like Indiana Jones and a few other classics like. But I just haven't. It's the time and the commitment. Even that I think I got it here, the DVD. I'll pull it out for the people that are still watching the video, right here. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There you go, HD, 4K. I don't even.
Oh, you definitely got to check that one out.
I haven't seen that. My little brother Mitch was talking about that. Apparently, it's amazing.
Yeah, it won an Oscar too. What's his? Yeah, I should watch that. Maybe later.
On that same note, I don't know how it slipped my mind. Like I said, yesterday was really my movie day. I watched Pulp Fiction again.
That's a long one too.
That's a classic, yeah.
Say what again? No.
Sorry?
I just said say what again. That's my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah.
Samuel with the gun. Say what again?
I hadn't watched that movie in a few years, man. So, like, I actually kind of forgot about what the exact, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy. I don't even fully remember everything. It's so funny when you say it though. The thing that always will forever jump into my head is Booker T and Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 21, and them doing the reenactment of that skit.
Oh yeah, wow.
Like that.
I can picture it now. I know exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because that was the first WrestleMania, which I've talked about many times on the Look Back. That was the first WrestleMania I saw. So you had Triple H and Ric Flair doing the Die Hard, like where he was like Scottish and he's walking back and forth in the field. And then there was like, I don't know what movie it was from, I forget. But it was Kurt Angle and Christy Hemme, and he's talking about like giving somebody an ankle lock, and she's like fucking having an orgasm basically at the table, and like banging up. And like it's a scene from a movie where like a guy's telling a girl about something, and she's just like losing her mind. Like she's not actually physically being touched; she's just like acting like she's having an orgasm about what she's being told. I don't know what movie it is. And then they did like the Basic Instinct with Sharon Stone, where she switches her legs, and it's Stacy Keibler and Chris Jericho and Benoit. Man, there's a whole bunch of them. They're friggin' hilarious. If anybody's curious or interested, look them up. Type in WrestleMania 21 skits, because they are, I don't know. I watched them all because I have the DVD, but it's good stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, Oscar worthy.
Maybe, yeah, potentially. You never know. But yeah,
I found that thing on Twitter too, by the way, about Hitman and Shawn Michaels. It was actually Kevin Castle that tweeted. Shout out to Don Tony and Kevin Castle. But
shit.
Right here, quote unquote. Here we go, quote unquote. Jake Roberts said in a recent interview that both Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were the two worst world champions of all time. Actually called them both chumps and said they drew no money, and no, Jake wasn't in character. That's how he really feels. So what does that say for you?
That's what I was just going to ask. Is this like, is he in character like Donovan was saying? You know, but is it confirmed that he's not in character?
Yeah, because that's exactly right. That's what Castle's saying too. He's saying that he wasn't in character. So
wow.
I want to listen to that.
Yeah, you got a lot to watch and listen to after this hour-long conversation, I feel like.
I needed this conversation, though.
You got some.
I think we all needed this conversation.
I'm not mad about it. I just meant like I feel like there's some movies we've added to your list. There's a few things you got to go watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, of course. All I've been doing is just gaming.
Same.
Gaming hard.
Well, that's probably what I'm going to do the rest of. I don't know what I'm probably do some driving later on the sim, but I got to make this video and edit this show and do all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Any last recommendations for the listeners? This has been a longer segment than I planned.
Ozark. Who doesn't watch Ozark should watch Ozark, because I know the third season is coming out like Friday, so that'll be like my week for the most part.
True.
Fucking wicked.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Well, I've heard of it, but I've never watched it, and I have no idea what it's about. But
you would enjoy it, dude. I'll tell you honestly. Maybe give the first episode a go, and
is it on the flicks?
It is on the flicks.
All right. Well, I'll check it out. Young Dog, any last recommendations from you, my friend?
Like I said, just check out the Formula One Drive to Survive. That was an unreal series. The new movie that just came out with Mark Wahlberg, actually, Spencer Confidential.
Oh, the one with Post Malone and shit?
That was amazing. What's that, sorry?
Isn't Post Malone in that movie?
Yeah, he's like in the very beginning.
Okay, I just saw the thing on Netflix. I don't actually know anything about it. I just saw that he was.
Yeah, if you've got time, check that movie out. It was actually really good. Really good.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more though, Nick. Whatever you do, don't watch the Netflix trailer of that movie, because it literally gives you pretty much the entire movie.
Yeah, I'm not big.
I agree.
I'm not big on trailers in general, man. Like, I was gonna tell you the same for that Terror or whatever the fuck movie it is. I was gonna tell you the same. Like, don't bother, because it's only an hour and a half movie, so like they're gonna show you too much in the trailer. But yeah, everybody watch Star Wars.
You actually got me going on that, eh? The trailers when Star Wars and stuff was coming out.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
need.
officially getting to that point now too, where I can't watch trailers because of you, which is great.
And
because like you're like, no, I don't want to see that. It ruins everything. It's like, you know what? Didn't even think about that. It does for almost every movie.
If you love the movie, like if you want to go see the movie anyway, then there's really no need to watch a trailer and show you what's in the movie. Like if it's something that you're unsure about and you're like, what's this? Maybe I'll, you know what I mean? But if it's something you're already wanting to see anyway, then I don't really see the point. But
I agree.
Yeah, my recommendations for the boys, if you have the WWE Network, I want you to go watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling, because that's one of the more entertaining pieces of wrestling content I think you're going to find on the WWE Network. It's interesting stuff. And then always just watch as much Star Wars as you possibly can, because it's never too much, ever.
And Super Showdown 2020 is on replay on the network right now. So if anybody's interested in that, then
Oh, Jesus.
Is that currently on right now?
Oh, God.
Oh, you're not serious.
Man.
It really.
Oh, it's on.
No, it is. I just switched it too. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna switch.
Spoiler alert. Bill's back.
Yeah. Fuck.
Big Bill.
Yeah. All right. Let's
save that for next episode, eh?
Yeah. Let's get on out here. And like I said, we'll do more of these than we have been for sure. Maybe if we can't get the round or the lookbacks out and all the other shows, we'll do more roundtables. But and maybe we'll do that Formula One thing, Younger. I'll talk about the Formula One lookback guys, and we can see if we can set that up.
Okay, sounds good.
In the meantime, don't forget.
Definitely excited to talk about that.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro. It'll be a good show. But in the meantime, go check us out. Anybody listening? At the Lookback Show, Instagram and Twitter. Always stay updated there. If you want to send us an email, it's thelookbackshow@gmail.com. If you want to get a t-shirt, mug, or any piece of merchandise from us, teespring.com/thelookbackshow. I myself, Nick. That's just me. I did it again there at the beginning of the show, guys. Jesus Christ. At Salsa, SCELSA. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain there for anybody who's going to come at me for that one. Jeez. Yeah, you guys? Twitter, Instagram?
Twitter.
Okay, all right, Don. Fine.
Sorry. Hey, ho. Twitter @Don44. Hit me up. That's where you can find me.
Mine's @ZJVY93.
Yeah, and like I always say, guys, the main one at the Lookback Show. But this has been fun. This was interesting. We definitely talked about a lot of different stuff. And we'll be back to talk more in quarantine zone here. Well, who knows? We may actually not be able to leave our houses by the time we get to the next episode. I'm not sure. But either way, this has been the Roundtable, episode 71. I hope everybody stays safe, stays healthy, stays clean. And if you don't need to leave, stay indoors. I'm Nick.
I'm Younger.
Donovan. And most importantly, what Nick forgot is stay classy.